First of all, congratulations on this film.
Thank
It
you.
was so exhilarating and exciting to see you in a Spider-Man movie. I was so excited, and there's something somewhat seamless about you coming into this universe and playing a character named Mysterio, given some of your past roles. So I want to know, did any of your smaller indie roles inform or influence your role in this movie?
Every role you play informs like the experience of a role and how you play it and all that stuff. But yeah, there were the themes of this movie are, some of them are somewhat similar to other movies I've done. So I was familiar kind of with that play, particularly like the idea of, a rift in time and, coming to another space and a different time and continuums and time continuums and things like that. So I was somewhat familiar with what that was and the behavior that happens in that. I've done a number of movies about that idea. So, yeah. And then I think what Peter goes through in this movie is similar to some things that characters I've been through in movies have gone through. So I could empathize with what he was going through. I've also obviously grown up and am older than him. And so because of the character of Mysterio, I could impart wisdom that I had learned in a way through playing parts that went through things like he goes through in this movie.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Totally. And
yeah.
I'm sure it helps that you've had, training or acting under a bubble or fishbowl
yes.
in the past.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. I've had a lot of acting in I've done a lot of acting in small spaces, partially suffocated. So yes.
I want to dive deeper into Mysterio just because he's so iconic. He was in issue 13 of Spider-Man. Throughout the years, we've seen 4 different versions of him, and he's typically portrayed as a villain. So as much as you can tell me, how different is your Mysterio from comic book Mysterio?
I mean, that's what I loved about what Marvel did when they came to me with the idea of this character, which was that he's very different from the comics. And because, yes, he appears early on in the Spider-Man comics, he's an important part, and he's an important part in the comics to Peter Parker and to Spider-Man. But he's also not as iconic as some other characters in the comics. And so it allows you some leeway, and I liked that because we could change some behavior, and we did. And so that gave me an opportunity to add some things I think that probably wouldn't have been there, if you had to like stay strict to the scripture of roles like Spider-Man or things like that. Right. So,
and I love just how they connect your character into the MCU. Like, I can't wait for people to find out how that goes down. It's awesome. I was just talking to Tom, and he was telling me that sometimes you guys would just be shooting a scene and laughing about nothing, something that wasn't even funny. Tell me about this bromance you have with Tom.
It's a romance. I'm really sick of people calling it a bromance. It's a romance. It's a legitimate romance. I find that to be very uncomfortable when you see, two people of the same sex, really falling in love. He's a wonderful person. He's devoted to his work, which I love. He's obsessed with the learning about the craft, which I love too. And he could be someone in his position who has a big ego and kind of walks in with the knowledge, even when even at that age, though, you have all your insecurities, as we all do. And he's just not like that. He's very honest. He admits to those things. He wants to listen. It's just, I really love the way he works. And so when we first started working together, he's also very gracious and very he really knows how to make me feel special, and tells me he thinks I'm a great actor. So that obviously goes a long way. She's just a good dude, and we actually enjoy each other, which a lot of people talking in press junkets about other actors say, but this is true. It's true.
If you were to play Mysterio again, would you rather play him with Spider-Man, Wolverine, or Deadpool?
Well, you can cross Deadpool out right off the bat. And I have so much deep respect for Wolverine. So and same for Spider-Man, so I can't really say.